It's a cook day, everybody, which means Chris and I are about to start doing something out here on the outside campfire spot here in our homestead. What are we making? Come inside, we'll show you. Before I go all the way in, though, more importantly is fresh herbs and spices from your little garden. And this is the basil plants that we've been growing. They've been growing very well now, and we're going to be transplanting them, I think, tomorrow or the day after. But in the meantime, I've got a fresh clip in here for what I'm making. Christy's recipe doesn't call for these. Stay tuned. So what am I making? Well, I am getting this ready for a red sauce. Some people would call this a spaghetti sauce, but it's just a basic red sauce. In here, down in here, we got red onions that have been chopped up, like, I don't know, almost a whole head of garlic. We've got mushrooms chopped up. We've got fresh basil. I'll be adding some more basil to this as we get going along. And then we got to add some tomato paste. I got some ground beef. We've got oregano, we've got salt, pepper, olive oil right here. We got all sorts of stuff that's going in here to make the red sauce. Yeah, stick around. And what Christina's making, well, I'll show you that here in a minute when she gets back from the store. Ambush with the camera. What'd you get from the store?
Beans. I went for beans.
You went for a big bag of black beans, which is what Christina's going to be preparing today.
Yes. And this.
And my tomato paste sauce to use as the base, because I don't do it completely from scratch. I've added my ground beef, as you can see, and then we'll be adding a couple liters of that. Oh, you got 3 just in case. Awesome.
Yes.
And the secret ingredient, which we'll talk about later. But, yeah, you ready?
Yeah.
Hoo-yah. Beans, red sauce. All right, time to get all this added in here so we can get this stirred up. This is how you have a dangerously overfull container, because my big deep dish was almost not enough. It's to the brim, but the good thing is that the mushrooms and everything will reduce down in size as it starts to get going. So I've got this out to the side because the other side of this is going to be taken up by Christina's beans, which we're going to go in and see what she's doing. I've got this in here, so we're going to let this get going, start to let it get to simmering, and then we'll just leave it half on, half off, and we should get a nice, hopefully we'll get a nice rotation simmer going where we'll come in and it'll sort of stir itself, but we'll also come back and stir it from time to time. We should get that circulation going. Stay tuned. Back to the kitchen, I've got Christina separating beans as always. We're looking for rocks, exactly like that. So that right there is a rock. You do not want to bite down on that. You want to tell them about the first time I made lentils for you? There may or may not have been a rock in the first lentils I made for Chris because I got lazy and didn't separate. Yeah. And there was some some crunchy.
I almost was.
Almost lost a tooth.
Yeah.
All right, that goes on next. Got some bubbling action out here, so I got to get in here and get this stirred up. But first, we got to add in salt and a secret ingredient, which is a little bit of sugar. We're gonna get that stirred in, and maybe have some chicken with the side. All important component of making beans is manteca, which is pig fat. It's bacon grease essentially, just a little bit. And I'm gonna fry up some veggies for the beans. Stay tuned. You guys can laugh at me all you want about the overflow here. I'm laughing at myself. It is what it is. We decided we got to buy another one of these containers because this wasn't quite big enough, but we needed that for the beans. So if I wasn't cooking everything in one day, I would have put the spaghetti sauce in that one. And that pig back there is being freaking annoying. Anyway, Chris just stuck the beans over there, scoot them up in the coals so that can start cooking. Finish these off, and then we'll put that up on top of here. All right, I apologize in advance for the pump from the church next door, making lots of racket in the background, but it is what it is. But we're cooking here. These are getting nice and brown. We're gonna put those inside here in a minute and pull that up on top of here. This is simmering away nicely, and I've just been coming in and stirring it occasionally. Yes, please laugh at that because it's way too full. My eyes are bigger than my pots. Right, both of them are on now, and we are aware of the precarious nature of this. It is what it is. At some point, we'll be replacing this once we get the full outdoor kitchen built. For the meantime, we're using what we have and showing you how you can do the same. Don't need a lot. You do things simple. Yeah, black beans getting hot. It's gonna be good. All right, everybody, following Chris out because it is now time to add the veggies that we cooked earlier into the beans. Beans are about halfway done. Once we put the top on that, we'll check our red sauce here real quick. Yeah, finally got it simmered down, or enough came out that I was able to get the lid on it. That's pretty close to being ready. It's thickened up nicely, so may let it go another 30 minutes or so, but it's getting close. It's a disaster, I know, because I didn't have a lid for this, but look at that, it's still boiling. I just brought it inside. We're going to continue to let this sit for another hour. It'll be here before we dive into it, but red sauce is done and ready. Campfire red sauce for the win. I'm going to be having spaghetti today with some garlic bread later on. Then we will stash the rest in the freezer. There's probably going to be 3 containers worth for the freezer. This is basically red sauce for probably 1 month, depending on how often we use it. So we make this once a month or so, and we have red sauce for lots of different dishes. Chris also loves this on top of scrambled eggs. So she'll often make scrambled eggs and then just put like 4 or 5 spoonfuls of this on top of her scrambled eggs. So we use the red sauce a lot. And the Campfire version is so delicious because it's got all that delicious seasoning in it. So, I actually wanted to come in here and give this a little bit of a stir so you can see some nice consistency here. We've got just, I'm so hungry. Look at those onions. We got those chunks of garlic and mushrooms in there. Fresh basil from our garden here. That is going to be delicious for whatever we choose to use it for. So, hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget, like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update as we continue to do campfire cooking stuff here on our homestead. And we'll see everybody in the next episode. Until then, stay safe, everybody. Stay hungry.